Farm bankruptcy update. That's chapter 12. April, there is an 82% increase from March 2026 to April 2026. An 82% increase. Now let's get into April 2026. Chapter 12, farm bankruptcies. April, year over year, April 2026 compared to April 2025 is a 130% increase in April 2026 compared to April 2025. 130% increase. This is the highest it has been in 6 years. Well, let me tell you who had the number one farm bankruptcy was in Minnesota. Minnesota is number one right now. Coming in second, third, and fourth is Arkansas, Mississippi, and California. It's due to high fuel costs. If you missed my post, I did a post on a farmer who was paying $1,500 a day for fuel. Fertilizer. 1/3 of fertilizer comes from the Strait of Hormuz. Equipment. President Trump put a tariff on equipment and also the trade war. China is the number one buyer of soybeans in the USA. Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. Farmers are going to be having more bankruptcies, more suicides, and more trouble ahead, which trickles through to the consumer, of course, because higher input costs equals higher cost to the consumer. Hi, my name's Christina. If you found this post sad but informative, please like, comment, follow, and share for more economic news.
These rural Americans in this clip voted for Donald Trump, and now they cannot afford to eat. He promised he was going to make these people's lives better and fix all of the problems they are facing. However, he has done the exact opposite. Everything has gotten worse.
How big of a problem hunger is in rural America? Spend time at a mobile food bank.
It's 90% of what I consume. And I don't keep the car running. I can't afford the gas. So I have sleeping bags to stay warm.
I still feel bad that I have to come up here and sit in a line, to get food. It's embarrassing as hell.
While Americans are struggling to afford gas, food, and rent, Trump has found time to do just about everything else except for his job, including giving $40 billion to Argentina. He's also found the time to demand $230 million in taxpayer money for himself. And of course, he's got plenty of time to destroy the entire east wing of the White House and replace it with a ballroom that's modeled after one of Putin's palaces. But he can't find the time or compassion to reopen the government or extend ACA tax credits that many of his rural supporters rely on to survive. This is what happens when leadership becomes a vanity project. Trump isn't governing, he is indulging himself. He's treating the presidency like a personal empire with luxury renovations and giving foreign strongmen billions of dollars. Meanwhile, his very own supporters are standing in food lines saying they can't afford gas or groceries. It's not like he doesn't have the time or resources to fix this stuff, it's that he simply doesn't want to or care.
Hey, just some guy here, and this is why rural MAGA voters lose the most from school vouchers. I'll explain it slowly with some maps and math. Okay, this one is probably going to sting a little because you rural conservatives are being played the hardest in this whole school voucher circus. And I don't think you even realize it. So let's walk through it. School vouchers, they sound great to y'all on TV. Freedom, choice, escape failing schools. Cool. Now, quick question. How many private schools are within 30 miles of your rural town? Exactly. Most rural counties don't have private schools. They don't have charter networks. They don't have choice marketplaces. They have one school. One, and that school is the football stadium, the jobs hub, the community center, the emergency shelter, the tax base anchor. It's the heart of the town. Now here comes the voucher policy. State legislator passes it. Tax dollars get set aside for school choice. Urban, suburban families where private schools actually exist, they use it. Rural districts, they still only have one school, but now their state education budget is thinner. So the rural district loses funding. They don't gain options. That's not choice, that's extraction. Studies from groups like National Rural Education Association have warned that voucher expansion disproportionately harms rural districts because enrollment loss hits harder when you only have one school. You can't consolidate when you're already consolidated. You can't shop around when there's nothing to shop. And here's the brutal math. An urban district loses enrollment, it's annoying. A rural district loses enrollment, That might mean cutting teachers, cutting electives, cutting sports, and combining grades. Small districts operate on very thin margins. There's no cushion. And guess what else rural schools often have more of? Higher poverty rates, higher special education needs, longer bus routes, higher transportation costs. They are already expensive to operate per student. Now reduce funding and what happens? Programs disappear and the politicians say, see, it's inefficient. No, it's isolated. And here's the kicker. Voucher money overwhelmingly goes to metro areas because that's where private schools are. So rural taxpayers help fund private school tuition in cities while their own schools get weaker. You are subsidizing someone else's choice. That's the grift. And when rural schools close, towns shrink, property values drop, young families leave, businesses don't move in. The community erodes. Public schools are economic anchors. You rip them out and the town bleeds. Meanwhile, the same politician who pushed voucher campaigns on protecting rural America, protecting it from what? Its own school? If you're rural and cheering vouchers, you're voting to destabilize the only education infrastructure that you have. That is not freedom, that is self-sabotage. School choice was designed for dense areas with alternatives. Applying it to rural America is selling subway passes in a town without a train. But it polls well, so they sell it anyways. And you rural voters, just keep footing the bill. Just some guy's thoughts.
Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we are talking about something that many Americans are worried about right now. Across social media, more and more people are sharing stories and high food price, high rent, high gas price, and the rising cost of living. Some people say they are working full-time jobs but still struggling to pay their bills. Others says they are using credit cards just to buy groceries and basic things for their families. Now I want to be clear. This video is not about supporting one political party or attacking other political party. This is about real people and real problems. When people cannot afford food, rent, gas or health care, that becomes a serious issue no matter who is office. Many Americans vote hoping that family would become easier. They wanted lower price. They wanted to stranger economy. They want to more financial condition security their families, but for many people life still feels everywhere difficult, and that's why we are seeing so much emotional video online. People are frustrated, people are stressed, and some people are simple scared about the future. One topic that keeps coming up is farming. Farmers play a very simple role in every country. Without farmers, there is no food. Without food, everything becomes more expensive. Many farmers are now talking about higher fuel cost, higher supply cost, labor shortages, and lower profits. Some farmers say they are struggling to keep their farm running. Others say they need more workers to help harvest crops. If farms struggle, food price can go up even more. And with food price grow up, every family feels the impact. That is why many people believe that helping farmer should be major priority. Other issue in the cost of living. A lot of Americans says they are spending more money they every before just to give a normal life. Rent expensive, food is expensive, insurance is expensive, and many families feel like their paychecks are not keep up. For some people, every month feels like a battle. They are not asking for luxury, they are asking for stability. They are asking for a fair chance to support their families. At the same time, they are people who believe the economy will improve. They believe change take time. They believe better days are coming, and that is also fair opinion. That truth is that people have different views, but one thing is clear: most Americans will have some things. They will affordable food, they want affordable houses, they want good jobs, and they want to better future their children. In my opinion, leaders should focus more on everyone people. Politics is important, but average family cares more about paying bills, paying groceries, and putting gas in the car. When people are afford these basic things, they feel hopeful. When they cannot, frustration grows every quickly. So the big question is, will things get better in the coming months, or will farmers continue to struggle in rising cost? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you believe economy is getting better, or do you think America is facing ever elder times ahead? If you enjoy this video, do not forget to like, subscribe and share. Thank you watching and see you next video.